Okay, hi everyone. Welcome to today's KubeVela's community meeting. First, I have sent a link into the chat, and please help to fill the meeting doc. Thank you very much. So in today, we have two agendas today. So first, Daniel will share his KubeVela experience at KubeConEU. And after that, Zhongpei will give us a little, a preview demo showcasing the VelaUX plugin, which can demonstrate how developers can collaboratively call Kubernetes API, VelaUX API, and other services to achieve a certain goal and integrate the process with VelaUX. So first, Daniel, are you ready to share your experience? Do you need to share your screen?
No, it will be just talking.
Okay.
Okay, so, I was at the KubeCon Europe last week on the CNCF kiosk that was given to the KubeVela project. And, it was actually quite a good event, pretty well organized. There were more than 10,000 people attending the event. So I think this is huge in terms of this type of conference, And basically the idea of sharing with you what happened that past week is just to give you some feedback and to share some feedback basically with the community on what was asked and so on, right? So basically the whole idea of having an open application model layer on top of Kubernetes was an idea that was resonating with a lot of people. There were a lot of people with use cases related to creating development platform or internet platforms, and they were trying to look for alternatives on how to simplify those processes. So in general, that was a quite good experience with people talking on the booth. There were 3 talks related with KubeVela apart from the keynotes mentioned. One was from the guy from Autodesk. I gave a tutorial on how to get started, basically like deploying the Hello World application on KubeVela. There were like 50 people attending the tutorial, so that was quite good also. And there was also a community talk that was provided online. And the effect on the booth was basically like every time that KubeVela was mentioned, there were a lot of people coming through the booth asking basically what is the project about? I just heard about it. And there was pretty good interest. Interestingly, I met some current users from different industries of KubeVela, people that we have never heard of in the community or the Slack channel. So that was also quite good to see people trying to leverage KubeVela in their projects. And basically to the feedback that I think could be useful moving forward is related to questions that people ask, like these common questions. So there was one topic was related like how different is an application from hell and customized. From the outside, it may seem like there can be some relation. So I think that maybe we have some type of document related to, you can package an application as Helm if you wish, but the difference is still like the level of entities that you are working with. People got the idea pretty easily, and they like it. I mean, they also have all that experience trying to maintain Helm charts and things like that and customize pipelines. And it's actually quite hard especially for new people coming into as users of infrastructure. There were also a lot of questions related to how to integrate this within a GitOps environment. So I think that maybe having an extra couple tutorials with Argo and Flags could be also useful to try to get more people to use the project. And finally, there were also a lot of people mentioning integration with Crossplane, because one of the talks, the Autodesk one, I think, they were also sharing like they are using both systems. So there were also a lot of questions related to how to integrate this with Crossplane. And in general, having a workflow in an application was also perceived as quite good. People like the idea and like the idea of having this type of orchestration level within the application. So yes, I think that moving forward, probably we want candidates for new posts from the community. I will try to address this as a community, like differences with Helm and Customize, and perspective of Kubernetes, integration with GitOps, and integration with Crossplay. And I will say that's kind of the brief summary. As I said, it was pretty nice. I spent 3 days there, and the kiosk was full-time also. So all the 3 days we were having a space there to share our ideas and talk with people. So it was a pretty nice ambience and a lot of people coming through the kiosk.
That's awesome. Thank you, Daniel. And unfortunately, most of our maintainers in China can't attend that event. But I'm glad that Daniel, as one of our maintainers, can attend that event and share KubeVela with all those peoples. And I do think that GitOps, the tutorial of GitOps is a great idea because a lot of people care about GitOps and want to know how they can use KubeVela to have this GitOps experience. And maybe we can have like one tutorial video that share on our YouTube channel maybe later, I think.
Yeah, that could be cool. I will also I forgot, I will also paste the GitHub materials for the tutorial. So if anybody wants to reuse that material to also provide kind of a getting started with KubeVela, I will paste the link on the document. So I mean, it's open for everyone. So this is just a compilation in order, let's say, on how to install the thing, how to deploy the first applications, and so on.
Yeah, I think maybe we can also, put the material link into our official website, KubeVela.io. Maybe we can write a blog or something like that, or a video shared on the website.
Sure.
Yeah, cool. Okay. Is anyone have any questions? Okay.
Not a question, but just to observe that I found KubeVela through DevOps Toolkit, Victor Farcic. He does quite a few, he's done a number of videos and he works for Upbound. So he's done actually a video how to combine cross-plane with KubeVela. And of course we should check whether it's on message, but I'll put it in the chat. Yeah, maybe we should cross-link back because his videos are quite good explanations. Just a suggestion.
Good idea.
Oh, that's a great idea. We can add those links too. Okay, so let's move on to the next topic. And so, Zhongpei, are you ready to share your screen?
Yeah, thanks, Doc. Sorry, thanks, Bob. Okay, hi, everyone. I'm Zhongpei, and can you see my screen?
Yeah.
Yeah, so basically, this is a preview of a VelaUX plugin system, and this is a outline for my topic. So first of all, why we need some plugin system for VelaUX? There are so many reasons, but we have some. First, we need UI for. Also, we can see we need GUI for most of times for end users. And the second, we want to make VelaUX as an engine of platform engineering, which is very popular recently. Okay, the second, what you can do with VelaUX plugin. With VelaUX plugin, your user can access a plugin page, for example, a node dashboard or something else you developed. You can, in this plugin, you can access VelaUX API, like create some apps or manage your apps with the way you like, or create pipeline to do something you want, and access the Kubernetes API. For example, deployment, pod node, and clusters. This is basically a raw API, so you can access anything you want. When accessing the Kubernetes API, you should configure the the permission first in the plugin config files. So let's talk it later. And third, you can access Kubernetes service. So you can deploy your other services in the Kubernetes and use VelaUX plugin as an entrance. Now, how we can build this whole structure is referred to Grafana plugin system. I think yes. The VelaUX, the front end you can see it will access the Vela API server, and when you want the VelaUX API access itself other services, and when you want to access the Kubernetes API server or Kubernetes services, it will process the request for you and send the response back. Also, there's a permission check here in the proxy. Let's see what a plugin contains. Basically, it's very simple front-end project. It contains a plugin.json. It's a config file for what your plugin will do, the author, the basic information, and the permission you request. So it's admit is to okay. So I made this very. I didn't put an example here, so forgive me. And then you have some front-end logic here. You have a app page, app config page, and anything you want. It's not only the only type of plugin that you can write a page here, but this is the example, and we are exploring more types of plugins that you can add it to anywhere you want in the VelaUX. And the last question, how we can distribute the plugin. Thanks God, we have already have an add-on system, so we just add a UX plugins field in the add-on metadata. It's just a pointer point to somewhere like AWS S3, where you store the tarball of the plugin. So the VelaUX will help you to retrieve the tarball and put it in the API server file systems. Okay, so this is a overview. Okay, so first, this is all in the development stage, and this is a plugin list, and this is what I developed for illustrate how plugin gonna work. And new dashboard is developed by Qingguo, another maintainer, and these are test plugins. So we can see its name, its ID, and if it's not installed, we have an installed plugin. Oh, sorry, maybe this is a bug. Yeah. If it's enabled, we have a link here, so you can go to its page. Because this is page app. And in this simple plugin, I have some. I made it very easy. Just one feature to run a Vela, to make a GUI to Vela adopt command. So you can check the port here. Sorry, maybe this is development. I forget it. there is no deployment here. You can check the deployment here, and you can adopt it, and you can adopt the whole namespace. Under the hood, this will run VelaUX --r in a pipeline. Okay, so I'm gonna run adopt namespace. I haven't had a loading animation, sorry, but you will see it launches the pipeline to adopt this namespace. Yeah, it runs. The last time I ran it, yeah, this one. This is how I adopt this whole namespace. And basically, it's just a job to, this workflow just dispatch a job to run VelaUX -namespace default. And it's not adding the -adopt, the -apply. So it did not create a application to adopt it. Just have some output. No output. Yeah, sorry. Have some logs here. And we can just add some. We can just make another adopt. Made another button here to add the apply option here. Add a apply option to it. Then we can adopt the whole namespace, and we can also detect the application here, and to disable or enable this button, and enable disable this button. This is in progress, so haven't finished all the logics. Yes, and let's take a look at how this VelaUX plugin is achieved. Yeah, here is the main plugin JSON config files for this plugin. Here are some very basic information about type, ID, and other things. And you can configure some proxies here. Like you can in root you can configure how you want to access Kubernetes API server, and you can access its deployment. Yeah, that's just basically what I do in the dashboard in that page. We need some permissions here. We also configured, and also we configure this. This plugin is can access by with people who have how much permissions that it okay. This may not complete, I think. Okay, this is a VelaUX RPC system for that. And you configure the Kube permissions here. In that you can this will tell VelaUX to create a a role for this plugin, and when proxies a request to the Kubernetes API server, it will use this role. And I guess, okay, let's take a look at the app itself. So basically, this is the whole application, and there are two parts. The first is the root page, and the second is a config page. They are both. This is a whole TypeScript project in the app, in the root page. I just add some the components here. It's a input box and a button and a table. And you can also configure the config page for your plugin. It can be checked here. Extensions, plugins. Yeah, here is a whole page loaded by the VelaUX. There like show some basic informations, and this whole page is defined by yourself by the plugin developer. And this is the whole, the config page I just show. Okay, so and some other things like readme and okay, no other things. We have only like 5 files to define a page to leverage all the VelaUX capability and the Kubernetes capability, and with all the permissions checked by VelaUX, you can enable it or disable it, and you can distribute it with add-ons. So there's a lot to imagine that you can develop the add-on, and you can develop attached plugin with it, and your user can use it with GUI rather than CLI, right? And it may be a little more work, but I think it's worth it. Yeah, I guess this is all for today's demo. Any questions if you want?
Yeah, thanks for the demo. Is this available now in 1.8?
Yeah, not in 1.8. We'll release in the minor version of 1.8.
I think it's more like a 1.8.1, some minor version, but not the RC version of 1.8, I guess.
Okay, great, thank you. Actually, I've got a follow-up question. We've not been using the VelaUX much because of it not supporting SSO. So, but we use it in our local development. How do people get around the lack of SSO?
Actually, we have a plugin, add-on, Vela add-on called DAX, and people use DAX for their SSO logging. So actually, VelaUX can support SSO.
Okay, I'll have to investigate that. Thank you.
Okay.
Yeah, I looked at it. Doesn't support Okta right now. The DAX and other two.
Sorry.
Does it support Okta for the VelaUX?
Currently, we only support DEX as our SSO plugin. Okay, so any other questions about the plugin or anything else?
Something not related to the plugin, but the 1.8 release was broken in our lower environment. We didn't deploy it. There was some the API now Vela core mounting the certificates of cluster API gateway. It was not earlier. In our cluster, we didn't enable the cluster API gateway for Vela. Is that a decision to enable all the time the cluster gateway, even though we're not using it?
So you mean you switch off the cluster gateway in your development environment?
No, in all our environment, we never enable the cluster gateway because we're not using it those features at this point. So, but 1.8 it's broken because it's mounting some secrets which is part of the cluster gateway.
You mean so the version 1.8 will have some logic that will depends on the cluster gateway. So it broke your environment.
Yeah.
That's a bit weird because as far as I know, there shouldn't be any logic that falsely depends on the cluster gateway. But I think you can, if possible, you can.
I'll open a ticket today. I think I'll create an issue. Let's see.
I think you can record some details in the issue, and we can later try to re-see it and see if something else happens to the core logic.
Sure.
Yeah. We do have some minor fix to the bootstrap process for the core controller, which might depend on cluster gateway. And if I understand it correctly, you are using the multi-cluster enabled flag and set it to false when you use the Helm chart installation. Is it right?
That's correct. That's correct. Yes.
I see. So, okay, I will later verify that what will happen if I use the Helm install commands with the flag switched off.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. So thank you everyone for joining us today, and the recording of the meeting will be uploaded to YouTube after the meeting is over. Okay. Thank you everyone. Bye.
Thanks.
Thank
Bye.
you. Goodbye.
Thank you.
Go on. Bye.